You know, I love every member of my family, despite the differences. I don't look at her as an evil stepmother. I see someone who has done everything that she can to, you know, improve her own reputation and her own image.
Prince Harry is in full-blown crisis mode. And we're not talking about bad press or a tabloid rumor. No, this is the kind of scandal that keeps even the most scandal-seasoned royals up at night. Because this time, there's allegedly a tape, a private compromising video involving Harry and what sources are describing as a well-known brunette who is definitely not Meghan. The footage, said to have been filmed discreetly at a Montecito rental property during one of Harry's frequent solo getaways, is now reportedly in the hands of someone demanding a jaw-dropping sum for its silence. We're hearing numbers in the high six figures, possibly higher, and apparently Harry is scrambling to buy it back before it detonates everything he has left.
In the world.
There's a lot that I can forgive, but there needs to be conversations and then in order for reconciliation, and part of that has to be accountability.
We've spoken to insiders who claim Harry hasn't slept in days. He's constantly on the phone, reaching out to lawyers, damage control experts, even private security firms with connections to underground data erasure specialists. And still, nothing. The woman in question, whose identity remains under wraps for now, isn't just sitting back and watching. She's allegedly playing hardball, escalating her demands by the hour. She's got leverage and she knows it. Meanwhile, Meghan's camp has gone stone cold. Not a word, not a denial, not even a carefully rehearsed "sources say the Duchess is standing by her man." Silence, and not the reassuring kind.
I don't think so, because William's a bit like me. He doesn't actually view Harry as a victim. He doesn't. He views Harry as someone who has been a complicit part in an attempt to bring down the British royal family. And so that doesn't make him a victim. Like, he might be a victim of Meghan, but he's not a victim in terms of his behavior.
There's growing speculation that Meghan's icy calm might not be shock, it might be strategy. One veteran royal insider told us Meghan has been eerily composed, as though she's been waiting for this moment, not rooting for it necessarily, but preparing for it. And now she may have the ultimate opportunity to do what many believe she's wanted to do for over a year: cut ties, protect her brand, and walk away. Let's not forget, she's rebranded her lifestyle venture as ever into a booming operation, just partnered with Netflix on merchandising, and is suddenly a full-blown business mogul. A betrayal scandal might just be the perfect excuse to pivot publicly, claim betrayal, and come out smelling like a self-respecting solo success. But here's where it gets messy. Some whispers out of London suggest this mistress might not be a random fling. She may not even be working alone. Royal watchers are buzzing about a theory that this whole thing could be an orchestrated hit job, a classic palace-style setup meant to finally split the Sussexes for good. One former UK security consultant who once worked a brief stint around Sandringham claims there are elements of the tape leak that feel too polished to be accidental. "This feels like something out of the Windsor playbook," he said. "They wouldn't get their hands dirty directly, but don't think for a second they don't have people who owe them favors." Suddenly, it's not just Harry versus his mistress and the scandal she's threatening to unleash. It's Harry versus an invisible hand pulling strings from behind the velvet curtains of Buckingham Palace.
Some critics are going to say, well, you're taking private struggles and you're bringing them into the public and you're making money off of them.
For me, having seen my family and the institution's part in constantly feeding the British press with lies, mistruths, disinformation, the way that I can correct those mistruths is by writing something, the truth.
Now picture this: Harry pacing alone at 3 a.m. in his Montecito mansion, his face lit only by the blue glow of his phone. Meghan, according to insiders, is in a separate wing of the house, refusing to meet with him face to face. Their two children, Archie and Lilibet, are tucked away, reportedly shielded from the turmoil. But for how long? Meghan's own recent interviews paint her as a woman trying to hold it all together while juggling entrepreneurship and motherhood. But now that narrative may shift. If this tape drops, and some sources say it's only a matter of days, it won't be the betrayal that defines Meghan's response. It'll be how fast and how gracefully she turns this into a launch pad.
I think that, as we've spoken about, this show has completely underperformed. It did not really appear on the Spotify charts. This was, of course, the podcast that she made with Lemonada Media. It's still unclear, actually, about what money has come from this podcast. So originally, when she signed up with Spotify, there was money up front. That deal went south. She signed up with Lemonada.
Let's not forget she's been building her independence for months, as Ever launched and sold out within an hour. She's got top-tier publicists, a new Netflix contract, and a podcast lineup that's drawing in female founders and CEOs like she's running the Oprah circuit. Some close to her believe she's been separating her brand from Harry's behind the scenes, testing her solo power, slowly dialing down the Duke and Duchess motif in favor of just Meghan.
Trust me, that day is coming for you, Harry. You will rewind all these memories about what your wife has done, and you'll regret not doing something about it sooner. You're just in delusion right now.
And while Meghan's image appears to be growing stronger, Harry's is crumbling fast. Remember, this is a man who once openly admitted to suffering from agoraphobia, panic attacks, and unresolved trauma from his mother's passing. He confessed in his memoir, Spare, that public life made him want to disappear. Now imagine the weight of a looming scandal, one that threatens to permanently stain not just his marriage, but his already fragile credibility. Those close to him say he's spiraling. He reportedly reached out to former UK advisors, some of the same people he once distanced himself from, seeking help or possibly a way back. But here's where things twist even tighter. Sources suggest Meghan may have known about this woman long before the video surfaced. Not the tape itself, but the affair, or at least the flirtations. One Ella-based socialite known for running in overlapping circles claimed she heard whispers of Harry getting too cozy with someone at an exclusive coastal retreat back in late spring. And Meghan? She didn't react. Not publicly, not privately. It was like she was waiting for a smoking gun.
Reportedly bullied virtually everybody who's ever worked for her. She can't keep a staff in London. She can't keep a staff in Montecito. She's a bully. She's obsessed with her own ego, face on television, etc., and playing the victim. So no amount of humanizing videos, even if she managed to find one, are going to work. You know, if you actually are a good person, you don't show up at the Uvalde mass school shooting and put yourself on camera and make it about you.
Some observers are saying this could explain Meghan's recent flurry of public appearances, podcast episodes, and interviews. It's the classic preemptive rebranding, a high-gloss pivot from wife and duchess to independent founder and mother of two. She's got the narrative, the audience, and the timing. If she files for separation after this video scandal hits, she walks away with sympathy, dignity, and let's be real, an avalanche of press. And Harry? Well, if he's being blackmailed and played, the trap might already be sprung.
Now, Harry and Meghan have also been accused of hypocrisy after they restructured their staff, creating what has been labelled the Montecito Royal Court. What does that mean, Kinsey? What's happening?
It's worth noting that while Meghan plays the cool, composed public figure, Harry's entire infrastructure is reportedly crumbling. A longtime staffer recently resigned, citing unmanageable tensions and constant media surveillance. Harry belittles himself and others in unkempt accusums. Others describe a sense of chaos inside the Sussex operation, strategy meetings that go in circles, trust issues, and rumors of secret recordings within their own staff. And let's not ignore the timing of the tape leak, right as Meghan's brand is peaking and Harry's is wobbling. Coincidence? Or coordinated?
There was this story that Meghan, had her people approach someone about a divorce book. But I mean, imagine if Meghan left Harry, it would destroy her reputation. She would be eviscerated publicly because she's already slipped into this kind of category on social media, the way that pop culture commentators talk about her. They lump her in with Amber Heard. They lump her in with, these other famous women who are perceived as being narcissistic or, being controlling of their husband.
Some of the louder voices online are already floating wild theories. Was this mystery woman a setup? Did someone close to the royal family orchestrate this affair? Was she paid, encouraged, planted? One thread that's picking up traction on royal forums suggests she may have previously worked with a UK media fixer, known for taking down high-profile politicians. The connection is murky, but it's enough to raise eyebrows and ignite speculation that this wasn't just a casual betrayal, but a calculated dismantling of the Sussexes from the inside out. We've seen the royals play long games before. Whisper campaigns, sudden media drops, controlled leaks. And the Windsor machine has never fully forgiven Harry for walking away, airing grievances on primetime, and tossing the family's private life into the bonfire. Could this be their quiet revenge? A final push to isolate Harry, draw Meghan out, and shatter what remains of their transatlantic power. Either way, one thing's clear: as Harry races to contain the video and silence the blackmailer, he may be doing exactly what someone wanted all along, digging himself deeper, trusting the wrong people, and stepping into a trap carefully built to make him the villain in a story he never thought would be told.
Nothing. And without her, Harry's life in America is nothing.
Yes, exactly.
He has a reputation to fall back
So they
on.
have a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, they need each other.
Yeah.
And that trap may be closing faster than even Harry realizes. Behind closed doors, sources close to the Sussex camp are painting a harrowing portrait of the prince's unraveling mental state. We're told the anxiety is crushing, the paranoia suffocating. He's not just afraid of the tape surfacing, he's terrified that it already has. One associate described him as a ghost in his own home, wandering the halls of Montecito in the middle of the night, obsessively checking secure cloud servers and encrypted messaging apps. He has reportedly cut ties with at least 2 longtime advisors, convinced someone on the inside sold him out. Another described Harry as haunted by his choices, by his isolation, and now by the fear that the final shred of his public dignity is about to be incinerated in front of the entire world.
Even in the Netflix show, she tells her mother, hey, Mom, I'm dating someone. It's Prince Harry. And then immediately her mother's like, oh my gosh. Like her mother knew. Okay, so if your mother knows who Prince Harry is immediately, then of course you.
And all of this is unfolding as Meghan, according to multiple tipsters, pulls further and further away. Publicly, she's still smiling, still speaking on female entrepreneurship, still appearing on sleek podcast interviews with polished talking points and minimalist lighting, but insiders insist her tone in private has shifted. No yelling, no dramatics, just a cold detachment. She's allegedly told friends she needs clarity and is focused on the future. That future, it seems, might not include standing next to a man being roasted alive by scandal. While Harry's pacing floors, Meghan's reportedly been deep in strategy sessions with her PR team. There are whispers that her recent content, Instagram posts, podcast teasers, even a few oddly timed leaks to friendly outlets are part of a coordinated distancing plan. Let's not ignore the timing. Meghan's lifestyle brand, as ever, has gone from niche curiosity to a full-blown commercial machine in under 6 months. A Netflix partnership, a sold-out product launch, and all of it structured to lean into her solo identity as a modern woman, mother, and founder. Not a duchess, not a wife, just Meghan. Polished, powerful, and pointedly alone in the spotlight. According to one LA strategist, the move is no accident. She's crafting the story in real time, the source said. If the scandal goes nuclear, she's already given the public a version of herself that doesn't require Harry, and that version may be more appealing to big money partners. Meghan has spoken recently about the difficulty of defining her professional role post-royalty, even admitting in one interview, "If I had to write a resume, I don't know what I would call myself." But now, as the scandal swirls, she seems to have found an answer. Entrepreneur, tastemaker, solo act. One source close to Netflix's product division claimed the streaming giant is fully on board with the Meghan first pivot.
And if I were, if I were a troublemaker, I might accuse Harry and Meghan of unconscious bias in the employment department, looking at all the new faces that are coming on to work for Harry and Meghan independently and together for their entertainment ventures. And if history repeats itself as much as Harry whines that it does, both Harry and Meghan will continue to reject any and all sound advice and will potentially treat their staff poorly, so good luck.
It raises a difficult question for anyone still holding on to the fairy tale narrative. When did the love story end? And has Meghan already moved on emotionally? Friends of the couple insist they still share a home, still attend family functions, still sleep under the same roof. But others tell a different story, one of growing silence, parallel schedules, and separate wings in the Montecito estate. Meghan is said to be fiercely protective of the children, keeping Archie and Lilibet insulated from the media storm, and presenting herself as the stable parent. But with rumors now circling that Harry has consulted lawyers not for defense, but for custody advice, the tension behind the scenes is clearly reaching a boiling point. And then there's the question no one in the inner circle wants to touch. Who really leaked the tape? Was it an ex-lover looking for a payday, or was something more sinister at play? Some believe the leak was coordinated, timed to coincide with Meghan's latest product release, an attempt to overshadow her rising brand, but others point fingers at Harry's own past. He's spoken candidly about mental health struggles, about the isolation he felt even while in the palace, and lately the whispers have turned darker. One former aide, speaking under condition of anonymity, said, Harry's behavior has become increasingly erratic and that he's not trusting anyone, not even the people still trying to help.
So she's trying to paint these pictures of what she wants it to be, like, oh, I don't know who they are, and I'm so innocent to the world and everything. Girl, we are on to you. We see it.
There's even talk that Harry has begun reaching out, quietly, to figures from his former life. An old security detail from the UK, a longtime family advisor he once cut off. Some believe he's exploring a way back, Perhaps not into royal duty, but into proximity with the only structure he ever knew. But the palace doors may not be open. Public support in the UK has cooled. Royal biographers say William has zero appetite for reconciliation, and Charles, still dealing with his own challenges, has remained notably silent on his youngest son's situation.
Manufacture that stuff, right? It feels fake. It feels weird. I don't understand why they would think something like that would work. But these are not people who are just posting on a whim, right? Like, this is an entire industry.
It's
I know
calculated.
you've covered this in depth. This is a whole industry. They've got people working on this 24 hours a day to try to make this Meghan Markle thing into a thing.
Meanwhile, Meghan continues to build. Fashion insiders claim she's quietly assembling a design team for a potential as-ever clothing line, and her media team is now being run like a fortress. One PR veteran who worked with the Sussexes in early 2021 described the current operation as militarized and borderline paranoid. And yet, it's effective. Meghan's headlines are mostly glowing, highlighting her grit, her evolution, her focus on women's empowerment. In contrast, Harry's narrative is crumbling into chaos. But here's the kicker. Some insiders now believe Meghan might be engineering more than just damage control. They claim she's actively flipping the script, feeding exclusives to friendly journalists, shifting attention toward Harry's fragile state while reinforcing her own image as a stable, nurturing, business-savvy mother of two. One former royal staffer even suggested Meghan could be setting up a future pivot toward solo public service, possibly even a return to scripted television, minus the prince.
Meghan Markle posted a bizarre video on her social media yesterday, which sent several people into absolute meltdown. It is the cringiest, most uncomfortable piece of tape I've seen in a long time.
Whether or not that's true, one thing is crystal clear. The couple who once stepped back from the royal family to protect their peace have now become the center of a firestorm that shows no sign of slowing down. And the fallout may be just beginning. Legal analysts are already speculating that if the tape becomes public, Harry could face more than humiliation. He could be looking at civil lawsuits, broken endorsement deals, and permanent damage to his reputation as a mental health advocate. And still, no official statement, no denial, no joint appearance, just silence, strategy, and rising suspicion. If there was ever a moment for unity, this isn't it. Meghan, many believe, is preparing for a future where she leads alone and thrives. Harry, once the rebellious royal outsider, now looks like a man boxed into a corner with no way out. So we have to ask, is this scandal the final fracture in Harry and Meghan's carefully constructed empire? Is this the moment their house of cards comes crashing down for good? Or are we witnessing something even darker? A slow, strategic divorce playing out under the cover of distraction and damage control. Let us know what you think. Is Meghan pulling the strings, or is Harry spiraling too fast for anyone to save him? Drop your theories in the comments because this saga is far from over, and until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and don't blink. The next royal shock might already be on its way.